Good morning, I'm Georgia, and welcome to Crochet and Chaos. Today is day one of the 12 days of Vlogmas. For me, there was no way I could do like all 24 days because of my university schedule and student teaching. It just was not going to happen. I did not have the time. So I decided 12 days. You guys get 12 days from me. And I am recording this a few days before it's going to go up because I still have a final paper to write for one of my classes, and I have another paper that I need to write for that same class where I fell behind because I got sick and took on too much. Let me be, don't be me. Just don't be me. Like, I took on way too much this semester. We were told, hey, when you're doing your internship, you're not going to want to take any other classes. This is going to take all of your time. Well, I took other classes and it was not good. I was not thinking, excuse me. I was not thinking that I was going to have to be in bed really late. Really late. I wasn't thinking I was going to have to be in bed really early to be up at 5 a.m. I was thinking, oh, hey, I can do all of my homework on the weekend. I forgot about making lesson plans, grading papers. Like I did all this while I was a long-term substitute. I know what goes into this, and somehow it escaped me. And I have spent this last semester struggling. So don't be me. That's all I've got. I accomplished two things yesterday. I finished my other fingerless glove. I have a set now. This is made out of the Big Twist Living pride yarn from Joanne that we can no longer get. I'm fascinated by how they match, but the variegation is so different. And they go with my hat that I made, my cat ear beanie that I made last winter. So now I have a set. I would make a scarf, but I don't wear scarves. I mean, I do sometimes, like if it's really butt cold and I have to shovel snow or whatever. But as a general thing, I don't like scarves. But oh my god, I got this done. The other thing I accomplished, if we want to call it an accomplishment, my sweater that I was working on. The sleeves ended up too big, and like they're like this much too big, like this much. And I was trying to figure out how to deal with that. And in the process of frogging the other sleeve, this happened. Like it's, I frogged too far. And the more I tried to fix it, the worse it got. So I just need to step away from this particular sweater for now. I will fix it eventually, maybe. Actually, I'm convinced at this point that I just need to take it out and start all over. But I'm dreading that because this ribbing took forever. But I'm going to stuff it back in this project bag and continue to ignore it for a bit because that would make me feel better at the moment. I also started, where is it? A bow bowstring for the Christmas tree out of this pretty sparkly yarn that I got at Hobby Lobby. I mean, it's the Velvety Smooth Sparkle from Yarn Bee. It feels like it's got starch in it. I don't like how it feels, but it's a decoration. It can feel like crap. I'm not going to be touching it after this. But what I did I picked up this kit on sale at Michael's. This Loops and Threads kit where I would have the instructions, and it comes with loops and threads, chenille yarn, and one of the crap crochet hooks. I'm happy that it's loops and threads yarn and not like some gross stuff, because I'll actually use this for something. And the directions came in more than one language. I can talk. But, oh, excuse me. I think I didn't sleep last night. But no, like nobody in my house is like into this pink Christmas thing. So they're like, no, like make it later for Valentine's Day. Just use this. And it's turning out fairly well. I did have to size down on my hook from the direction. Well, I don't know what size hook the directions have that they put in here. Size hook is this. It doesn't say. And I'm not digging out my thing to check. But the yarn is probably the same thickness as what I'm using. But this stuff says to use a 6.5. I had it sized down to a 6 because the holes were too big. But I don't know, I feel like I should have gone down to a 5.5, but I don't want these to be too small. So I think it's good. I can live with it. So that's what I have accomplished. My brain was everywhere yesterday, that I was just working a little bit on everything. And today, what I've decided to do is I made this hexagon cardigan. I'm putting it upside down. This hexagon cardigan. And I like it, but I want it to be better, if that makes sense. Like, it's already gone through the wash and everything. For my liking, the back here, like the neckline, yes, there's a hole. We'll get to that. It doesn't feel right. Like, I want the back a little bit wider, just a personal preference. But what I found, and I don't remember what I was going to use this for, I found this string of crochet squares that I made, these granny squares. I'm going to put it down the back. It's the right length, amazingly. So I'm taking out the border that I put on it, and I think I hate myself because I want to put ribbing all the way around it. I just complained that the ribbing on that sweater that I was working on is like too much work, that it took forever. This is going to take even more forever. This is going to take a longer forever. But I'm going to pull this apart, add this, make it a bit longer, and fix the cuffs because I don't like how they turned out. Now, you see the holes, you see like all of these strings hanging down. I already went and that was good. It's not what I expected. I put this together. How is that not what I expected? But I went and I started to undo everything where I wasn't fighting with the hard tied the ends where they were tied off and weaved in and everything on camera. Because if you want to watch somebody fight with that, you're a strange person. I should probably be doing this with the yarn winder. I'm going to have to put this through the yarn winder anyway because I have cats. But yeah, I don't like how the cuffs turned out. Like, with the decreases and how I did that, and they're too short for my liking. So that's one of those things that I want to fix. And like some kind of weirdo, I made this out of Lily sugar and cream because I don't know, I like the colors. But after washing it up, it is really soft. I know people find this yarn a bit stiff, scratchy, something for cotton yarn, but once it's washed, it's really nice. At least I think so. Okay, that's where I weave things in, I think. Yep. Alright, let's ball this up, and then we will fight that. But I do wear the crap out of this. Like, I had it in the classroom most of the time that I was there because our room was so cold. Where the temperatures were fluctuating as they do around here in the fall. The heat did not get turned on in the school until it was getting below 0 at night, and it could be justified turning it on because there's no sense. I mean, I get it. There's no sense in turning on the heat if it was just going to warm up during the day and the air conditioner was going to kick in and so forth and so on. But ours was the coldest room in the school. Like, you had to go out in the hallway to warm up. So I kept this there, and I wore the crap out of it. So it is warm. And I'm happy with it in that respect. But I think it could be a little bit better, and I'm going to fix it up to what I wish I had done. And would have done had I not just been tired of working on it at the time. Okay, that's fine. I mean, because we all get close to the end of a project and we're like, oh, hey, I'm almost done. We just kind of rush through it, and that's that. And that's the I used to tie that with, or tie it, sew it up with. Okay, there's that. Let's do this one. I'm just gonna take and do the thing. I know everything I do is slightly out of camera frame. So one thing that I hate about working with cotton, especially when you have to take it apart, and Lily Sugar and Cream is bad about this. It gets splitty. Like, it's just the way cotton yarn is a lot of times. I'm not even gonna deal with cleaning that up yet. Oh, that noise you hear in the background is my space heater. It gets kind of loud, but like we've got the finished basement. This is where I have all of my stuff, and it gets cold because it's partially underground here, and I need my space heater because I freeze. I don't know where I put my tissue box. I forgot to take my allergy meds before starting this, and now my nose wants to run. I'm allergic to everything. For some reason, this fall winter transition period, everything has been really bad. Why are you in the garbage bag? What are you doing, cat? It's Gordon's sister down there playing in the trash bag. Because she's an orange cat and that's what she does. What in the world did I do here? I tied that. Why did I do that? Probably because I didn't have enough to weave in. Why do I do anything? I need to clean out my little sewing container here. I keep throwing jewelry in it. It's overflowing. It's just supposed to be for stitch markers and darning needles and tension rings and that kind of thing. Okay. The sleeves are taken apart. And I'm going to pause here for a minute and take my allergy meds. Meds are down. Dog has been let out and back in, and I lied. I used Big Twist for this. Big Twist cotton. That was their version of Lily Sugar and Cream. And I wish somebody would pick this stuff up. I love this stuff. But I pulled out yarn to fix this. I don't know where my partial skeins are from. I found the white. I don't know where the green and the purple are. But the green is, I don't know what color this is. What color is this? This is green olive, and this is hyper violet. Okay, where oh, my ball from the sleeves. Okay. Is this? Yep. And I'm just going to tie this off again. We'll deal with this later. Am I struggling here? There is nothing worse than taking stitches apart backward. There we go. That's what I wanted. Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe I wasn't taking apart. There we go. 2 halves. That's what I wanted. Maybe I wasn't taking apart one of my clusters like I thought I was. Okay. Yay. All right. Now, you take these, and probably should block this before putting it on here, but whatever. Because it is kind of, oh, it's not. Oh, I'm going to have to stretch it a little bit. It's fine. Yeah. trying to figure out which is the right side here. Where did I stitch this? Okay, I think this is the back side based on that tail. This is the back side. I think this is. How do you guys tell the front of your crochet from the back? Like, I know I can't tell just by looking at my stitches because doing granny squares, I turn my work. And I'm going to call this the front. And I'm going to put a stitch marker right here to mark the front where I know. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back inside out. I'm going to do this. No, too fun. I had another thing of stitch markers here. I have to dig through this now. Because I'm trying everything in here, like jewelry pieces, bracelets, earrings. There's a reason I can't find my stitch markers. There's a stitch marker. The other reason I can't find my stitch markers is because I leave them in project in whips. There's another one. Another bracelet, ring. Another earring. Stitch marker. Piece of yarn. Back from one of my pins. I should probably put that on back on there. USB dongle. So I just throw everything in here. This is supposed to be where my stitch markers go, where I can find them. And my pins. Or not my pins, my darning needles. This one here. I know I probably, like, blocking this would be fine. Stretching it's gonna work. It's the right length. This is just where the sweater, the cardigan itself has been worn and washed, and the other piece is not had anything done to it. Okay. Now show this on here. Four and a half. Okay. 375. Four and a half. going to slip stitch this back on here. Here's my tension ring. Yo, tension ring. That's the one I want. That's not the one I want. That one I'll use if I can't find the one I want. Is that that's my backup. That's the one. The tension rings that I have that I use are these little kitty cats, if it'll focus. And my favorite one has pink ears. I don't know if you can see that. But the reason I use tension rings is because when I learned how to crochet, my mother initially attempted to teach me to crochet. And she taught me to hold my yarn in a weird manner. And I have not been able to break myself out of it, because what happens is I end up holding my yarn like this. And this kills my joints. That, like, they just automatically default to that if I don't have a tension ring on to keep my fingers straight. And my joint, my knuckle, this knuckle will lock up. And my entire finger will hurt. And I won't be able to use it for days. So it's not that I need a tension ring to control my tension or anything. It's like I need a tension ring because I hold my yarn dumb and without it. And this has been the only way I have found to rectify that situation where I'm not wrecking my body. I can wreck my body other ways. I'm really good at it.
Yeah, after all, the same person that took over air and had the shoulder put back together. I broke my shoulder, I destroyed my rotator cuff, I had, this was like right before lockdown. So like, I can't injure myself on my own, I don't need help doing it.
Yesterday, we went out to see where they're building the new high school. Been curious where it's at because I've been following the building of this, and and it's supposed to open in fall of 2026, so for the next school year, and it's designed to hold 2,100 students. I've been following the construction and everything of the school closely because this is where I'm hoping to teach. Because by building this new school, they have to, like, the county's going to be needing to hire a lot of teachers where they can outfit the school. Even if teachers transfer from other schools, they're going to need to replace them. And I'm going to have my licensure by the time the school opens in the fall. So we went out to see where it's being built, and it is huge. I was complaining that I was getting lost at the school that I was student teaching at because it was huge. This one's the same way. Like I'm gonna get lost in it if I end up there. And I don't remember getting lost in my high school. Okay, that's not true. I changed high schools a few times. I ended up going to 6 high schools between 9th and 12th grade. And one of them I did occasionally get lost in. It was just like a big loop. I can't tell you why I got lost in it, but I occasionally did. And there was no reason for it. And I always felt dumb every time that I couldn't find the one room that I needed to be in. I also had a problem with the bell schedule. That, like, because it was like during the lunch period, and there was like, I don't know what they were doing. Nobody says it, and it did not make sense to me. It still does not make sense to me looking back on it. But there was quite literally a 15-minute study hall that was scheduled somewhere. And like this auditorium conference room, well, not conference room, but like this auditorium type room that had, like had bleacher type seats, but they had desks on it, like desk beds. A seminar room. That's what we call them at uni. Seminar room. And it was just really weird. Every time that bell would ring, it's like, oh, hey, it's time to go do something else. And here it was just the 15-minute study hall being over. Like, what can you accomplish in a 15-minute study hall? It's getting warm in here. Finally. But I foresee myself, if the option presents itself of getting lost in this school, I hope to So the other half line here, for some reason, the other side of it is more stretched. I don't know why. So I want to work from, work from this. I was talking about my mother teaching me how to crochet, and that she taught me to hold my yarn in like this weird way that hurts my finger. I don't want to say she wasn't a good teacher, but she didn't have the patience for it. And for whatever reason, I cannot wrap my brain around chaining one, turning your work, and continuing a new row. It took me years to learn how to do that. And it was one of those things I had to figure out on my own. And this was before YouTube videos. This was before the internet. So there were no tutorials. And I never thought to go to the library and check out books. It was a bunch of me just figuring things out on my own. I did have a coworker when I was working in fast food. I see me working on a blanket, and of all things, I was doing it in single crochet, so that was going to take me forever. I would still probably be working on that today. Who showed me how to do a half double crochet. And so I've been crocheting off and on, and like trying to figure things. Well, a lot of it was me trying to figure things out between the ages of like 8 and 19. I was great at doing chains. Like I could make chains all day, which coming great. Kind of making that. Well, I was going to say this isn't quite a chain because you have to make the bow. You've got to add some half doubles and doubles in there to widen bits of it. But I could make chains all day. I just couldn't figure out how to turn my work and start a new row. But obviously, I have since figured that out because look, I make stuff now. I make real things now. But I really got into crochet like where I was doing it almost every day a couple semesters ago, and because I came across a Mothman hooded blanket that I kind of wanted to turn into a poncho. And it worked out, only the antenna are floppy. And I've since found out how to fix that. I need to take those out and fix them. But just lost my train of thought. Oh, but working on that, I discovered that this was a great help to relieve stress and anxiety, because grad school is stressful. It can be anxiety inducing. Like, once you reach a certain level of stress, you are going to start feeling anxiety. And anxiety is also a side effect of one of my medical problems. And this has just been a great help. And there are just days that if I do not sit down and do some sort of crochet, I can feel it. Like, I get too antsy. I have reached the point that this is something that I need to do to keep myself calm and to relieve stress. And I can tell exactly how stressed out I am sometimes by how much I ignore that I need to do just to crochet. Because the second I put my hook and needle down, I'm wanting to climb the walls again. It's turned into kind of a self-preservation thing. Come on. It should be right there. Take out a couple stitches. I didn't pin that properly. There we go. One more. Let's go. Okay, that feels much better around the neck for my liking. Much better. Oh, no, that's a granny stitch there. I'm like, did I do a decrease there? No, I did not. It's fine. I don't feel like this thing's trying to take my neck off. That looks so messy there. I need to figure out how to deal with it. The stitches where it's been washed and stretched and I sewed that on crooked. This not quite right. This side needs to come up. It's fine. I'll fix that.
There we go. I think yeah, I think this is a compliment, and what was going on here? Example. And I'm not real happy with that. I thought it would be, but I can't get behind it. I tried. Okay, for me, I thought that I had gone a size bigger when I originally made this, but I used the 4.5 as suggested.
It's much later in the day. I've gotten cleaned up. I spent some time organizing a bunch of my crochet ebooks and patterns. I'm going to be putting them on an external drive. I think I'm going to have to find my C2C. I think I'll be able to use this on my tablet as well once I get that done. But I didn't need to do as much as I thought I was going to need to do on the cardigan to fix it how I wanted it. Now I still have to weave in ends and everything, and all it took was like 2 rows of the purple, like one more row, and it comes to here, which is good. And once the ribbing goes on, it'll be perfect. And I need to redo the sleeves. The back, I like how it fits through here now. I used this much of my yarn skein. I still have the ball that I took out here, but I used this much of my yarn skein. I'll just put all that to the liner. And I really do like how the back turned out with those random squares that I found sewn together that I don't remember what I was going to do with. And now all I have to do is put the ribbing on, and that will take me the rest of my life, because ribbing goes slow and I want it to go all the way around the cardigan. What I really think is cool is that the sleeves and the border, like around everything, it all ends on purple now, so it's uniform. And yeah, I'm glad I did this. I'm not glad that I've got ribbing to do though. And this is definitely not going to be enough white. I'm going to have to find more. I know I have more. I just hope I have enough because we can't get big twists anymore. I mean, I suppose I could use Lily Sugar and Cream, and if I had to use the loops and threads, but I would much prefer this. It's a little bit softer than the other two. I need to find, speaking of patterns, I need to find my 6-day, my copy of the 6-day star pattern, the 6-day star blanket pattern. I keep forgetting to do that. I keep going back and forth on which yarn I'm going to use for this because I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, I have this. This is the anniversary cake, and what color is this? Hocus Crocus, and the purple that goes with it. They came out with this year for the it's just called Crocus, and Hocus Crocus. But I have a big cake of this from last year, and I bought enough of this where I could go back and forth between the variegated and the solid. That's what I was originally going to do, but then I also have this blanket yarn, and every time I see one of the 6-day star patterns made up in this gradient stuff, I love it because like it goes from dark to light to dark to like I just love how it looks. This is, what color is this? Dark Orchid, and I got it at Ollie's. That's why I have so much of it. I got it at Ollie's. But I'm leaning towards this. Has anybody done a star blanket in peanut blanket? I don't think I've ever seen one done in chunky yarn before. I wonder how it'll work out. I guess if it sucks, I can go back. I can do the original plan, but I love how they work up with this, like just the color gradient. So I think that's what I'm gonna do there. Let's say, so do I need this? It's been so long since I've used Bernat blanket. It says 8mm. That means I either, I think I have my yeah, I have my furls 8 out. And I need to find a dark purple chenille yarn. Michael's may have Posh Pearl, I think that's what it's called, in stock. I need browns for the beaver. Actually, I need black too, but I think I've got black chenille. If I don't have black chenille, there's something wrong. Like, I have all the colors that I need in, like, the size 4, but I want, I don't, the thing that I'm going to make, I don't need to be, like, this big, which is about how big I think it's made in, like, the size 4 yarn. I want it to be a bit bigger. Oh, excuse me. But I am going to go dig through some of my blanket yarn and see what I have that I can use. I may have picked up a purple and don't remember. Alright, well. But what I need is like the darkest purple in here. So all that I have for today. I need to get this edited where it can go up tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 1, and I need to decide what I'm going to do for Vlogmas Day 2. I will see you all tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever it is you do, and I will see you tomorrow.